People are leaving us in the next 10 minutes, so need it silent, and we need to go over these, because obviously from the grades, you are struggling. That tells me that you're not either reading, you're not looking at the videos, you're not taking good notes, or you're just having a tough time with these concepts. If you're just having a tough time with these concepts, which is fine, because this isn't easy, it is tough. That means you need extra practice with these skills. The only way you get that is by committing to developing the skills, doing problems, watching videos, right? Multiple resources, Holt, teacher, Khan Academy, YouTube. You have to commit to doing this. I cannot do it for you, right? So, let's go through ones you had trouble with. How about we go through one first? Well, these almost look the same. That's not a mistake. Can I add them right now? No. So how do I get this guy to look like that? You could multiply this by a -1. You could multiply it by a -1 and a -1. So this would become -x over 1 minus x. Because multiplying by -1 over -1 is the same thing as multiplying by 1. That's not the most intuitive way to see it, but that is true. You can factor out -1. 1 over 1 minus x plus x over, factor out -1 from this guy, -1 minus x, right? This becomes positive. This guy was positive, so it becomes negative. Now it's a subtraction problem, right? This subtract this. 1 over 1 minus x, subtract x over 1 minus x, right? You need to know that this negative, it doesn't matter if it's here, here, or right here. It all means the same thing. It does not matter if it's here, here, or right here. It all means the same thing. So we have a subtraction problem, and now you have 1 minus x over 1 minus x, and that is equal to 1. So the correct answer is A, which is not that box. Does that make sense? Do you know how to factor? Yes. So you can do this problem, right? You just have to be able to manipulate things. All right. So the next one. Which one do you want to talk about?
All of them.
Yeah. All of them. Okay.
Yeah, I think you might run for some time. You can do it.
Okay. Talk to me about it later. Okay. Division. Well, to be able to divide these, turn it into multiplication, and also factor, right? Factor this top. X plus 5 times x minus 2. Factor the bottom. X minus 5 times x plus 3. X minus 5 times x plus 3. Multiply by the reciprocal. All right, well, the reciprocal, this piece on bottom is now going to be on top. That factors into what? Yep, x plus 3, x plus 3. This one? Mm-hmm. Good, so if you can factor these, then you're doing really well, because factoring is the hardest part of this. Now they cancel. Let's see. Do I have anything else to cancel? Minus 2, minus 2. Anything else? No, can't cancel. Can't cancel. So the only things I have left are x plus 5 times x plus 3 divided by x minus 5, x plus 2. So you have to flip it. That's good, right? So if you had that mistake, you should star it. Not be on your cell phone, because nobody else in here, nobody got 100%, right? So if you're on your cell phone, that's obviously probably part of the problem. All right, so let's see if that was on there. I don't see it on there. Where is it?
Wasn't the x plus 2 over there supposed to be x plus 3? So then the x plus 3 cancels and it would be x plus 5, x minus 5.
Oh, is this an x plus 3?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I read it as an x plus 2.
That's the only one I got right.
Yes. That one should be a 3.
I thought the 5 canceled.
Oh, I got that.
So this is the correct answer, correct?
Yeah.
Yep. So look at my mistake.
That means I got 2 other.
Okay, let's bring it back, please. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. Okay, so even something as simple as this, writing something sloppily, right? It can lead you to getting the wrong answer. I didn't recognize that as a 3 because I didn't even recognize my own handwriting. Okay, so you have to write neatly. It's important. So let's solve this one. And I'm telling you, I think that's where a lot of your problems come from, is not being organized and neat. Well, let's try and solve this one. One way to solve it. Multiply both sides by this x squared minus 9. You could do that, but it's going to be slower. Let's go like this. This is equal to 3 minus x over x plus 3. X minus 3 equals the negative 3. What can I factor out of this? Negative. So factor out the negative from the top. The numerator, it becomes negative x minus 3 over x plus 3, x minus 3. That's equal to negative 3. This is going to get rid of one of your extraneous solutions. So that's important. What do I have left up top? Negative 1 down below, x plus 3. That's equal to negative 3. Multiply by the denominator to get rid of it. Negative 1 equals negative 3 times x plus 3. Negative 1 equals negative 3x minus 9. Add the 9, you get 8 equals negative 3x. So that means x equals negative 8 over 3. Did you get that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay.
If you got 2 answers, that means you had an extraneous answer, right? And doing this canceling gets rid of those. Okay? Okay. I know some of you have to leave here in 2 minutes, so let's just do the last one, this word problem, with everybody. Ted walks to and from his home. His rate going to the post office is 3 miles an hour. Coming back 5 miles an hour. We should also stop here and say they didn't give me enough information. They didn't give me anything about distance. Oh, what's the distance going this way? Doesn't matter, right? Call it d. Call it d, call it x. So there's my distance, there's my rates. Now I can talk about time too. And let's see what they're asking for. Average rate. So let's look at the totals. Total for time. Total for rate. Total for distance. Thank you. Total distance, that's the easiest one. 2d. Rate, that's what I'm trying to find. Time. That means I come back over here because they didn't tell me anything about time. And I say I need to put this, right? Make this say time. Well, d equals rt. That means t equals d divided by r. So that means we have 2 different times, right? Time 1. What's the distance? d. What's the rate? 3. What's time 2? d over 5. What's t1 plus t2? That's t total, right? Agreed?
Yeah.
Well, let's see, this is 5d over 15. This is 3d over 15. So 5d plus 3d over 15. 8d over 15, yep. That's just simple math, so you can do that. 8d over 15 is time. Now we divide like usual. Rate equals, well, let's go back. d divided by t. So rate equals d, which is 2d. Time, which is 8d over 15. Multiply by the reciprocal, right? 2d over 1 times 15 over 8b. Cancels. You get what? 15 over 4. 15 over 4, and the units are miles per hour. Right? If you got 30 over 8, that's also correct, but you didn't simplify, so you lose points. What was your decimal? That is correct. 3.75 is fine. All right, so are we good with these ones? So some of you need to leave, right? So if you need to go to the band thing, you can leave. Now, for the rest of you, we're going to finish the last problem, but we're not done yet. All right, good luck. So, for the rest of us, we'll finish this last problem. Anybody want to get their presentation out of the way today? Present this problem. Good luck. Okay. Adding fractions. So tell me what I need to do. Good luck. Adding fractions, so I need same denominator, right? That tells me I need to look at, say it again. Yeah, sure. Let's factor the denominators, right? 2 over x plus 1 plus 4 over x plus 1, x minus 1. And now I see what my special one needs to be. X minus 1, x minus 1. This is all equal to 1, so don't forget that. It's still all equal to 1. We're just making it easier for ourselves. 2x minus 2 is this guy. You're adding on 4. We're dividing it all by x plus 1, x minus 1. It's all equal to 1. Simplify. 2x plus 2. X plus 1, x minus 1. What happens with that 2? What can I do with the 2? You can take it out or factor it, right? Factor it. 2 times x plus 1 divided by x plus 1, x minus 1 equals 1. Now look at that. Cancel. 2 divided by x minus 1 equals 1. That means 2 equals x minus 1, right? Yeah. Multiply. Add. 3 equals x. How many of you got that one? How many solutions are there? 1. So if I go back to the question, yes? Yeah? Say it again.
I have no idea which question I got right.
The question said, how many solutions are there? There's 1, and that's your answer. Good luck. All right. How are you going to study over this weekend? Because we have our assessment on Monday.
I won't pray. I won't.
What's your Daisy? Videos? You got YouTube? You got Colt? You got... I'm being serious. I want to hear some good ideas.
Oh, I have a question. What was the average?
Hold up. I'm still asking this question. I want to hear some ideas for how we're going to study. I heard videos.
YouTube channel.
Emily. Read.
Oh, I said awful.
Read.
Homework.
Do homework. Guess what? The homework problem's out of the book. Hey guys, I want you to listen for 1 more minute, please. The homework problem's out of the book. I have videos from Holt on Schoology. every single problem has been worked through. You just have to find the time. I'm sure you can find a way around it, right?
Go buy a computer.
I'm sure you have access to a computer somewhere. Those walk through every single problem. Why not use them? If you're not investing the time, that's why you're struggling right now. It is difficult material, but that just means it takes extra practice. You agree, Julius?
Yeah.
When you're not listening, right, it shows up. So I really want you guys to focus. This is not easy stuff. You have to invest the time to learn it, or else your grade is going to go down. All right, and I can make an equation, distance equals rate times time. Distance between your grade and 0, rate times time.
Mine is plummeting.
All right. So really focus over the weekend.
Is that something like there's like 5 points instead of 25? Is that just like what? 25 points.
I got 10 points.
Destroyed my grade. That means you got 2 right.
Plus 4 and
No, I
minus
think
2.
I got the other one right.
Positive 2, right? Yep. So that's just
But
combining.
that's the only
Yeah, I know.